Hello everyone, it's Amy and welcome back for week 24 of Journaling on a Budget Starting Over. So today we're going to do the affirmation flowers that we used last week. I had so many people ask about them and if I could do a tutorial, that's what we're going to do. And even though this is a journaling video, these are great to use in your journals. So that's what we're going to do today. All you need is 2 different colors paint. The cheap, just plain old cheap craft paint. And you don't need much at all, just a little bit. You know, the more that you put down, the more flowers you're going to get in those colors. So if you want to if you want to do more than just, one set of colors, don't put too much down. And that way you'll be able to use it up and then go to 2 different colors. So all you need is a balloon and some paper. I like it on book paper. I like the way it looks. Plus, I always have so many extra book pages that it gives me a way to use them in a way that I like to use them. Because, it pretty much covers up the words. You really don't see it, but it gives it a great background texture when you're making them. So you're just going to blow your balloon up. This is one that I could blow up very large, but you're just going to blow it up small. Maybe about like that. And then I do try and get down towards the bottom of it to make the balloon tight. So you don't have to have small balloons. You can get small balloons, but sometimes they're hard to get. And I found some, I saw some, what do you call it? Like water balloons. I can't get it off my finger. And I thought, well, those are small, but I wasn't sure if they might be too, because they're meant to break. So I wasn't sure if they might just break when I was trying to use them. So this is actually even a little bit larger than I normally use, but it really doesn't make that big of a difference. So you're just going to take your balloon and just dip it in your 2 colors, give it a bit of a push, and then put it on your paper and give it a twist. Just like that. Now, that's not a perfect circle. That's totally okay because we're going to cut it out afterwards. But if you think, well, I don't like that, I want to do it better. Now, I couldn't twist my arm that far, so this time I'm just going to kind of twist the paper. It'll make it easier for me. And now I have a nice size area to make my flower. And so we're just going to go ahead and I'm going to just turn the paper for each one of them. And normally with a few little dots of paint like this, I usually wind up with about 6. Doesn't look like I'm going to this time, but we'll find out. And then if you think, well, that one's not dark enough, you can just go back in and pick up some more paint and put it on there. When you do it like that, sometimes you get the look of a dendritic paint, which is kind of like this here. So when you have a lot of paint on there, and then when you pick it up, it sucks it up into these little grooves, and that's called dendritic printing. But so there, I only got 4 flowers out of that, but normally I get 6. I don't know why I got 4. Maybe I made them too big. But then you're just going to, let's say I wanted one, maybe I want some that do have a little of the metallic with them. So let's do, got some red here too, so let's do red and orange. And then we'll put a little bit of the metallic paint with it. You could also just go in and put a little of the metallic on afterwards. Let's do that on these orange ones. Let's see. I want to get that hard piece off of there. I'm going to put some over here. There we go. And then I'll just pick up some of that. There we go. It's pretty thick here. We'll have to see how it looks when it dries because that's not super, doesn't look super metallic-y to me. But then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pick up some of that. Again, just give it a twist. Okay, I don't necessarily like twisting the paper. When I just tried that a little bit ago, I thought that's kind of cool, but I don't like the way that it works, so I'm not going to do that anymore. You can just do it however it's easiest for you. I used to just do it like this, and it was so easy for me to twist it, but My wrist doesn't move as well as it used to. Now these are coming out kind of big. And so I'm only going to put 3 on there just so that they don't run into each other. Grab what's left of that paint. Just put that on there. Okay, the more you twist, the more that it may get a little bit mottled color on your balloon. And if that happens and you don't like it, just take a napkin or something and wipe it off so that you're back to just regular balloon and you're just picking up your straight colors. So that's how you get your circles. And then all you do is just take them, set them aside, and let them dry. And then once they're dry, then they look like this. And this one was done with red and Martha Stewart Pearl Pink. So once they dry, then you're just going to take a permanent marker and you're just going to make a squiggly circle kind of within the borders. Now, if you get out onto the paper, don't worry about it. It still looks okay. You don't have to stay within the paint part because you just want to do it kind of fast. Well, I like to just do it fast because I just want a very organic random shape. I don't want to try and do a perfect circle or just try and make them all look a certain way. I just want to make some squiggles. See, now here I got up onto the book page, but you'll see when we cut that out, it will look just fine. And then you do just want to kind of make sure that when you come back together, you kind of meet them up nicely, so that like this will show where I kind of like crossed over right there, but that's not going to really make a difference either. No one's necessarily going to even notice that. And if they do, they'll probably just think that's the way you did it. So I just like paint a bunch, set them aside, let them dry. Whoops. Then I just come back in and I do all the circles. And then I go to the next step, which is putting the centers on them like this. Now, you can either just use your black marker if you want to. And all I do is just dot the center. That's all you do is just put some dots. Now, if you don't want to use your marker, you can just use black paint, which is what the one I just showed you a second ago. That was just black paint that I dotted on there. And I just used the end of a skewer to dot it on there. So then you're just going to do all of them like that. And it's just looking for a skewer here. So with the skewer, just take the skewer, stick it in the paint like this, and then just dot it in the middle of your flower like that. And then, just keep picking up paint until you get a nice little black section in the middle. Because you don't want it to be, it doesn't need to be, you might want it to be, but it doesn't have to be super solid. You just kind of want to see the little dots in there. Then once you've done that part of the center, then you're going to either take white paint or a white paint pen. I'm trying to get my white paint pen out of my whirligig. This is just a Crafter Square metallic marker, and I got this at the Dollar Tree. So then what you're going to do is you're just going to go where the black is and put a couple of white. And I had somebody say that they used some metallic and that it looked really pretty and that it really gave it some depth. So you can just do however you want to there in the middle. Or you can leave it black. Sometimes I leave them black. Sometimes I just want them that way. And then the next and final step, if I can. Boy, I was really prepared. I don't have my black. That's a medium. I don't have my black fine point marker out here. I thought, there it is. Okay, so then what you're going to do is you are just going to put in some little squigglies like that. And now you can just put in squigglies. You don't have to have the affirmation words on there. Maybe you don't want to. Maybe you have a hard time writing tiny. and you just don't feel like doing that. So I just put some around, and then between the two marks, you just put some more. And then if there's any big spots that bump out that you don't have any pen in, you just put some pen in there. But see now, so now I've got, it's even kind of hard for you to see, isn't it? I've got one here and one here. There's a gap between them. So then the next one, I'm going to just kind of go and be above that gap. There's one and there's one with a gap right there. So I'm just going to go like that. The gap between these two is right here. So I'm just going to go like that. And then my other gap is here. And then down here, I think that there's a little extra space. So I'm just going to kind of put one in there. So then when you're doing it, if you want to do the affirmation words, I normally just kind of start out with one to give me an area of what's going to be next. And then you just start out with decide your word. I'll put love. And so I'm going to just start with a squiggle. And then when I get just a little ways, I'm just going to go L, O, V, E, and then just take your squiggle around after that. Now, you can do that more than once. Sometimes I'll do it 3 times around there. Just put another one right here. L, O, V, E. And you want to kind of like make it a little bit small so it kind of just blends in. It's not necessarily super noticeable. It's just kind of there. And, you know, it is noticeable, but then again, it's not like in your face. So we'll put, now this word is a little bigger than normally I do. And normally when you get to that E, you don't want to bring it back up again. You just kind of want to go the length. So let's do a little bit. Then L, O, V, E, and then make your squiggle. And then I'm going to come up above all those. I definitely have some area up here that I want to squiggle. And there we go. So now that page, oh, it's not quite done. So for this one, I will go, let's see. S-H-I-N-E. Shine. Whoops. I forgot my ending squiggle. Fill in those gaps. And there we go. So that is the second to the last step. The final thing that you do is you just cut them out. Now, you can make a bunch of them like this and leave them on the paper so that they're easier to file away. You can just file the papers in a file folder or something. I like to cut them out because I like to sample them on whatever I'm going to be putting them on. And I like to just see what they're going to look like. I have a hard time picturing something. If I've got a tag and I think, how's that specific flower going to look on that tag? I want to be able to take the flower and put it on the tag. I don't want to take the whole page and go, it might look nice on that tag. So I like to cut them out. And all you do, you can cut them right on the black line if you want to. To me, they look better if you just go just 1/8 of an inch or something, just a little bit out a ways. And don't worry if it's perfect. It doesn't have to be exactly the same all the way around. And then if you also want, you could use some distress inks or any inks and go around the edges with that. I don't do that because it's already, to me, you know, it's got the black, it's got the different colors. I like the way that they look just like this. And I like that towards the outside edge, a lot of times there's a little bit of natural book page there. And, you know, if you put the distress ink on it, then that kind of covers that up. And I like the looks of it. But that's all just individual to just whatever you think you like. Or you do some one way and you do some another. So, and this is a great project to, you know, be in your craft room and, you know, get all of your paint on the paper and, you know, get it all picked up and put away while your circles are drying. And then you can just take those pages out to your, living room if the family's watching TV or something, and put your squiggly circles on there. And then if you want to do some more, then just put your centers in or whatever. So it's a nice thing that once you get the circles painted and they're dry, at that point, then you can take it anywhere with you. You can take it, like when I went with my husband the other day. If I had had a bunch of these pages with circles on them, I could have just taken them with me, and I could have sat there and done the black outside edge in the center and the affirmation word inside, while I was sitting there. So it really is a nice carry with you project. And then you don't even have to cut them out while you're there. You can just do them all on their pages and cut them out when you get home, while you're sitting watching TV at night. I like to watch projects I like to make projects that I can do while I'm watching TV also, because in the evening when my husband comes home, I like to sit in our living room with him. And so, I want something that I can do, though, because I need to keep my hands busy, even if we're watching TV most of the time. So here we go. We have these really pretty, do I have just a plain piece of paper here? Not really, but I've got this, just so I can lay them all out so you can see them. But I really like the way that these turn out. Oh, this one I put hope on this side, and I put love on that side. Just on accident. But that's kind of cool. I've never done that before. And like some that I've done before. Whoops. So on this one says hope. And then we've got here one that says family. This one's got hope on there 3 times. This one's got family on there just once. And I must like those colors because that one says live, laugh, love on it. But you can do them in any colors that you want to. Colors to match your journals. Color to match a card you're making for someone. You can take a whole group of them and put them on a card. If you have smaller ones, you could kind of take the smaller ones and just kind of squunch them up a little bit. Let's say you want to make a card or something, or even on a journaling page. They'll get a little flattened in a journal, but just give them a little bit of a squunch. And then you put them on your card and just, put your stems on there and just take a group of them and put them together. I want one that, and of course they could have the words on them too. I was just kind of looking for a plain one, but it doesn't have to be plain. You just might not be able to read the word, but it's there. Sometimes that's like the most important thing, is that you want to give somebody a card and you just want to know that you put love on there for them. They don't have to know it. So there we go, maybe a little group of 3 or something with some stems coming down, and that would look cute on the front of a card. So those are affirmation flowers. Super, super simple. And, all you need is a balloon and a couple colors of paint. If you don't have a balloon, if you had something that was just flat, like I was thinking like the bottom of something, but you would want to make sure that it doesn't have a dent in it. It would have to actually be really flat on the bottom. And you could just dunk that in there and put it, just kind of looking if I have anything here that's totally flat on the bottom. I don't see anything, but you could figure that out. Let's see. No, that's not really flat on the bottom either, but that soft I could push on it. So, you can always just, figure out another way to do it. Don't I have another blank book page here? I'm going to try this because even though it has the dent in it, I'm thinking that if I push it down, that it might work. So let's try it just to see. You could even try, what was I going to say? You could try I can't think of it. The stuff we make stamps out of all the time. Just kind of put that in there, pick it up, put it on there, push down the center, and give it a twist. It does pick up an awful lot of paint because it's got that dent in it. So let's just do a couple of them. And it makes it more perfectly round because it's so round. Trying to grab a little of that paint because there's so much there. But there you go. You want one that is more round than with your balloon? You can just use something round. Fun foam is what I was trying to think of. You could just maybe do a piece of round fun foam and use that. That might work really great. But there we go. See, so you don't even have to have a balloon. You just have to have anything that's round and just use that to make your flowers. So there we go. I hope that you enjoyed this tutorial today. I really love making these flowers. I make them quite often. I almost always have a bit of a stash with me because, or, you know, in my art room when they start getting low, I make more because I like to have them. They just come in so handy for so many different things. Thank you very much for stopping by. I really do appreciate you. And I hope that you all have an outstanding day. Bye-bye.